The Snow Knight and the Frozen Forest. The Boy Who Hated Winter. The village of Frostmere was the coldest place in the entire kingdom. Snow fell almost every day, roofs cracked under ice, even the goats wore wool. But the cold wasn't the problem. The problem was the frost wind, a chilling gust that roared across the valley every winter and froze anything left outside for too long. Most kids in Frostmere loved the cold. They built snow forts, threw snowballs, and raced down the hills. Except for one, Alden. Alden was 14, tall for his age, and always looked like he hadn't slept enough. He wasn't afraid of winter, he was tired of it. Winter made everything harder. Harder to chop wood, harder to help in the stables, harder to feel warm, even under blankets. But most of all, winter reminded him of his father. His father had disappeared during a frostwind storm 2 years earlier. No one knew where he went, and no one ever found any trace of him. Alden remembered the last thing his father said. "The forest has secrets, Alden. Some are dangerous, some are waiting for the right person." Alden never understood what that meant. Not until this Christmas. The forest that shouldn't exist. On the first day of Frostfall, the kingdom's winter season, Alden woke up to something strange. His window wasn't frozen. That never happened. He rubbed the glass. Warm. Then he noticed something else. There were footprints in the snow outside. Not human, not animal, something glowing. A soft blue trail led from his house toward the woods. But the woods weren't supposed to be there. The frozen forest had disappeared years ago, swallowed by an avalanche long before Alden was born. But now, standing where empty hills should be, was a tall wall of ancient trees covered in shimmering frost. A forest returned from nowhere. Alden took a step forward. The snow around him trembled lightly, almost as if the ground was excited. Then he heard it. A faint, cold voice carried by the wind. "Alden!" He froze, heart pounding. "Who's there?" he called. The blue footprints brightened. The voice whispered again, "Come to the forest, before it is too late." Alden swallowed hard. He should have gone home. He should have told someone. But something deep inside, something warm and stubborn, told him this was connected to his father. So Alden followed the glowing prints into the frozen forest. The Ice Guardian. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. No birds, no animals, no wind. Just the sound of Alden's breathing as warm mist in the cold air. The glowing footprints led him to a clearing filled with statues made of solid ice. Wolves, deer, a giant bear, even a man holding a shield. Alden reached out to touch one, but a voice stopped him. "Don't, they're not statues." He spun around. Standing behind him was a figure in armor made entirely of frost and snow. A knight, 7 feet tall, shoulders broad as tree trunks, glowing blue eyes under the helmet. Alden stumbled back. "Well, what are you?" The knight raised a hand. "I am Thalan, the Snow Knight, guardian of this forest." Alden blinked. "Why did you call me here?" Thalan's voice was deep and calm, like distant thunder. "Because winter is changing. The frost wind will not be a storm this year. It will be a curse." Alden's skin prickled. "A curse?" Thalan nodded slowly. "When the frost wind arrives in 3 nights, it will freeze every living thing in Frostmere. Forever." Alden felt his blood turn cold. "No, that can't. There must be something we can do." "There is." Thalan pointed deeper into the forest. "To stop the curse, we must relight the heart of winter." Alden frowned. "What is that?" "A flame," Thalan said, "that burns colder than ice and hotter than fire. It is the balance of winter. Without it, winter becomes death." Alden's heartbeat quickened. "Then let's relight it." Thalan paused. "Only one who winter recognizes may carry the heart. Only one touched by loss and driven by hope." The knight's glowing eyes softened. "That is why I called you, Alden." Alden stared at him. His throat tightened. "Is this about my father?" Thalan turned. "Come. The forest will show you." The wolves of winter. As they walked, Alden noticed that the forest around them felt alive. Trees creaked softly, leaning closer. Frost shimmered on branches like tiny stars. Then he heard growling. Thalan raised his shield. Stay behind me." The trees split open, and 3 massive white wolves leapt from the shadows, fur glowing like moonlight, eyes bright icy blue. Alden gasped. "Are those winterborn wolves?" Thalen said, "guardians of the forest, but today they are corrupted by the curse." The wolves surrounded them, snarling. Thalen charged the first wolf with a shield bash, sending it crashing into a snowdrift. The second lunged at Alden. Alden dove aside, rolling through the snow as the wolf snapped where his face had been. Thalen shouted, "Touch their shadows, not their bodies." Their shadows? Alden looked down. Each wolf had a dark, twisted shadow that didn't match their movements. He grabbed a fallen branch and swung at the nearest shadow. Crack. The wolf howled, collapsing instantly. The shadow shattered like ice. Alden's heart raced. It worked. The last wolf leapt at him. Alden swung again, hitting the shadow. Smash! The wolf dissolved into snowflakes. Thalen lowered his shield. "Good. Winter sees you, Alden. It recognizes your spirit." Alden breathed heavily. "Why are shadows freezing creatures?" "Because something deep in the forest," Thalen said, "is stealing all warmth, all light. And if it is not stopped, winter will swallow everything." The memory tree. The glowing footprints finally stopped at a giant frozen tree at the center of the forest. Its trunk twisted upward like a spiral staircase. Its branches glowed with pale blue fire. Alden stared. "What is this place?" "The Tree of Memories," Thalen said. "It shows truths forgotten and answers hidden." Alden felt a pull inside his chest. "Will it show me my father?" Thalen nodded slowly. "Touch the trunk." Alden reached forward and placed his hand on the ice. Instantly, the world flickered white. He stood in the forest. A younger version of it, warmer, alive. And he saw his father, tall, strong, smiling, walking beside Thalen, the snow knight. Alden's breath caught. "You knew my father." Thalen appeared beside him inside the vision. "He was a brave man. One winter he came to help me relight the heart of winter, but the curse was stronger than expected." Alden watched as his father fought icy shadows, wielding a flame that glowed blue. Then, the vision shifted. A massive wave of frost surged toward them. Thalen shielded Alden's father, but the frost shattered the Snow Knight's armor, scattering him into pieces. Alden's father tried to escape the wave, but the vision blurred. Alden shouted, "Where is he now? What happened?" The vision faded. Alden gasped, back in the clearing. Thalen's voice was heavy. He sacrificed himself to protect the forest. His warmth kept the heart of winter alive, until it finally burned out. Alden's eyes stung. "But that means he's gone?" Thalen shook his head. "No. His final wish was that one day, someone with his courage would finish what he started." Alden swallowed hard. "Then I will." The heart of winter. They walked to a cave beneath the memory tree. Inside, a pedestal held a small dying blue flame, barely flickering. "The heart of winter," Thalen said. Alden approached. "What do I do?" "Touch it," Thalen said softly. "If winter accepts you, the flame will return." Alden placed his hand over the flicker. The flame surged. Cold fire wrapped around his arm, warming him from the inside out. He felt his father's strength, his mother's hope, the courage he didn't know he had. The flame grew. Then the cave trembled. A dark shape rose from the shadows, tall, icy, with glowing red cracks across its chest. "The Frostwind curse," Thalen said, "manifested." The creature roared, shaking the cave. Alden stepped forward, flame in hand. "I'm not afraid of you." He plunged the heart of winter into the ground. Whoom! A wave of blue fire exploded outward. The creature howled, melting into mist. The flame grew brighter and brighter, then erupted into a pillar of light shooting into the sky. The Snow Knight's gift. The forest brightened. Ice melted from the statues. Wolves returned to normal. Trees swayed happily in the wind. Thalen smiled beneath his frosted helmet. "You have restored winter's balance. The curse is ended." Alden exhaled shakily. "What happens now?" Thalen placed a glowing snowflake-shaped charm in Alden's hand. "When winter threatens, this will guide you back. You are no longer just Alden." The Snow Knight knelt. You are Alden, the winter's heir. Alden stared, stunned. But I'm just a villager. Not anymore, Thailand said. He stood, began fading into snow. My time here is done, but yours has only just begun. Alden reached out. Wait, will I see you again? When winter needs you, Thailand said warmly, I always return. And with a final smile, he dissolved into swirling snowflakes. The Christmas dawn, Alden walked back toward Frostmere as the forest melted behind him. The sun rose, the first warm sunrise of winter in years. Villagers gathered as he approached. The frozen forest was gone. Snow was softer, the wind gentle, winter peaceful. Alden's mother ran to him. Where did you go? I was worried. Alden hugged her tightly. I'm home, he whispered, and everything's going to be okay. As they walked back to the village, Alden looked at the snowflake charm in his hand. Something told him this winter would be different. And deep inside he knew. Christmas wasn't about gifts, or lights, or even snow. It was about courage, hope, and the warmth you protect, even in the coldest winter. Hello, this is Wicked Story here. If you enjoyed this story, I would appreciate it if you shared it with your friends and family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next story time.